All right, here we go. This is Ryan N. I have heard and appreciated your analysis on Bo Nix and this Broncos offense. He's talking to both of us because we were both on the show, on both your show and the Mina Kimes show. I'm actually in a minority of Broncos fans who mostly agrees with you. Mostly agrees with what you're seeing, and I'm still very skeptical on where this Payton/Nix marriage is going. My question, where do you see this offense going schematically, both for Bo's rookie season and long term? I'm having trouble imagining Payton signed up to run the Oregon offense for the rest of his career, but I also can't really see his under center run game meshing with the Oregon run RPO based offense. God, you're just pulling out this thread. This is great. In fact, I thought we saw a bit of the schematic clash in the Colts game where Bo took few, if any, dropbacks from under center. So that was from Ryan N. You want to start or you want me to go?
Oh, I had a mean little quip joke that popped in my head when you said we got to where do you see his offense going? Horizontal. That's where I see it going.
Nice succinct way to put it, though.
Well, because I mean, look, here's the deal. You drafted a quarterback at 12 that does things that most quarterbacks can do. You know, like there's no like physical trump card with him, and you're still dealing with like adjusting to the game as a rookie. And even in the game we just saw, you know, that people were impressed by. You look at the final numbers, it's 6 yards an attempt. You know, it's 15 for 21 for 125 yards. That's not that good. You know, like we really, right. That means we really struggled to move the ball that day. We didn't. But yeah, we completed a bunch of passes, but for what? Who cares? Like we're not converting anything. Like you want to talk about like schematically, where could this go? I don't know, because you need so many good players for this to work, and they don't have many. So, you know, I would have guessed they're going to do a lot of, you know, stuff that would fall under like cheese category on Madden or CFB 25, right? We're running like a bunch of RPOs and we're running like play action sliders, so we can just get them on the move and no one's shooting through gaps trying to kill our little quarterback. I don't know. I don't really see, like, if you're a Broncos fan, what is your best case scenario for what Bo Nix hopes to be? Like, that's it. Already 24 years old.
That's what I keep coming back to. If this was a 21-year-old that started 2 years in college and okay, all right, what can we grow with this? He's old. That's where you have to start with. And it has to be something said. And I have to kind of reemphasize this where everyone goes, well, Burrow was old. Okay. Burrow is the mid-90s Houston Rockets when MJ retired. He is the exception to the rule for all these rules because there's so many things he's the outlier on. But Bo Nix he's an older player that is a nickel and dime guy. When you said horizontal, that nails it. It looks like it's going to be a heavy, quick game and RPO offense. And whatever reason, and I thought Sean Payton's kind of football dogma would be wanting to push the ball more play action, more true 5-step drops, more, you know, like we're going intermediate. We're attacking that 10 to 20 yard area, what Breeze was so good at early in his career. But I think he's like, well, no, I like that old offense, the 2017, 2018 Saints, where it was hyper efficient, brutally efficient offense that was just, I mean, Breeze's success rate that year was like 55%. Like no one's going to touch that number ever again. And they had a good run game. So that's what maybe in his head is what he actually wants. Do you have Drew Brees with 200 starts under his belt playing for you? Like That's what you need to do that. You need the hyper efficient operator. And I think the narrative they told themselves was, well, Bo Nix is a vet. He can step right, you know, at 24 years old, he can step right in and run this. But when I watched him in that first preseason game, this is why I've been a little negative, or a little more negative than others. I'm not saying like, boom, nuke it. He's never have a chance to start. But this is where my concerns lie, is that third down scramble he had, and this is just one play example, but third down scramble he had, gets the first down. Everyone's like, well, that's a great flash of his athleticism. Shows off his scrambling ability. That play was a mesh concept, which I know for a fact Bo Nix has run at Auburn and at Oregon and probably in high school. Everyone runs mesh. He passes up not one, but two open reads that I know are part of the progression on that concept. I know that for a fact. You might just say, well, only one of those should be the guy. Okay. Well, one of them was open and he had a clean pocket, a clean NFL pocket, I should say. Maybe we would have to hitch up a little, but that would be hitching up into the throw, which is in the NFL, that's a clean pocket. He turns it down, tries to scramble, break contain. Yes, he gets by against backups of the Colts defense. But in the NFL, that's not going to, you could do that once or twice. You can't, that's not sustainable unless you're a freak. You have to take those, especially if this is how you're supposed to win, because he's not an overwhelming athlete and he doesn't have an overwhelming arm. His first pass, stick nod concept. Everybody runs stick nod. Sean Payton loves stick nod. That's the tight end running a stick nod, 5 to 6 yard route. Then he gets upfield down the seam. And it's usually out of empty, and the quarterback will go left to right, crossfield read. He does the crossfield read correctly, which if you're teaching, you'd be like, okay, he probably could have hit his number one read, which is the little choice route sit on the other side. He progresses, he's late, and he throws the ball inside where the tight end almost gets killed. Yes, he progresses, but he's late and he throws the ball inside, which are both no-nos. You never throw late over the middle. And that's it. He didn't do that in college. And I know it's one preseason game, but that's the thing. I think he's already kind of done. Like, this is him. So that's where what are we getting out of this? Which is what you said, horizontal. So
yeah,
why take him at 12? That's
I don't
where
get it.
I just gave him back to you. Take him in the second. There's less pressure on it and you're fine. That's where you should have gone.
And even if like you're scouting narratives for the Bo Nix stuff, like, dude, you're aiming for the worst version of Drew Brees? Like, what is this? Because the thing with the late career Drew Brees stuff is that offense was built out of necessity, not because that's what they wanted to run.
That was
he
his
was
arm.
40. Right. Yeah. Like, he was 40. His arm had turned to grease and pulled pork. Yeah. There's nothing in there.
And let's try and roll with it.
Right. And like you said, that works when you've had 200 starts and have had MVP caliber years and have won a Super Bowl. But for that to be your starting point, that's not good. Like you said, I think you said on the last episode or last week's episode, you compared freaking Caleb Williams to Purdue Drew Brees, because that's what Drew Brees was when he got to the NFL. He didn't become, the Bo Nix variant until he was like 39 years old,
Correct.
Man.
And you have to evolve your game. But people don't realize some of these older guys, even Peyton Manning, was a better athlete than we realized. Yeah, he's not running a 4.4, but he's not running a 5.9 like he was late in his career. He was running like a 4.8. And like, he could do bootlegs. He can move around and scramble a little bit. It's like you gotta remember.
He had a gun too.
And he had a hose. Oh my God. I know. It's like and now he was just like good, like very good. A 7 on the scouting scale. It's, and also on top of it, if you're an older player that's supposed to be this assassin, this has always been labeled, his footwork is more skittish than Drake May. And Drake May, all I hear about is Drake May's footwork. Nix's footwork is worse than May, in my opinion. So that's another thing, is I don't know. It's just, none of it adds up. And yeah, it's kind of left me in a weird spot when I'm watching the Broncos, because I want to get around. I like Sean Payton as a play caller. I just can't get around on it.